Hello again. So, I recently bought this Arcane Wizardry deck at my local game store during the Ixalan pre-release, and I decided to open it on a video. I left it in the wrapping. And I also have two decks that I've been building for Inalla and Kess. This one's Kess, this one's Inalla. And ignore the label. I converted the deck. So, these do not have all of the cards that I need for both decks, but they have a lot of the cards. And there's a lot of good ones, a lot of good lands too. So Kess is just a pretty good spells deck with some stuff that enable that. And then the Inalla deck is an enter the battlefield wizards deck. Actually, hold on. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget something. I thought I might have forgotten the Whip of Erebos for my Inalla deck, but I didn't. It was here. So I'm going to open the package first, go through some cards, maybe split them up between the decks, and then I will I will show the cards I assembled for the decks. I might get the cat deck too. I've been planning on building a mirror deck, but that's not happening for a while. Hold on, there's a noise outside. I gotta go check on it. So I'm back. I was worried it was gunshots, but no, it was just some stupid bird pecking on a wasp nest on the side of the house, trying to get some wasps to eat. It just kept pecking and it sounded like gunshots. Anyway, that was weird. Back to this. So there's Nala. Can make a deck for her, and Kess can make a deck for her, and Marcel not going to make a deck for him. And I'll try to sort them accordingly. And there's zombies, which I think I've seen this zombie before. I collect different zombie tokens for my Kalidus deck. Yeah, I collect different kinds of zombie tokens for my Kalidus deck. I try to make it have one of each different kind that I can find, and I have like 8 different types of zombie tokens now. It's pretty cool. I'm just going to go through this pretty quickly. If I put one in the wrong column, I'll sort it out after. Hey, I didn't know this was in this deck. That's pretty cool. And Reality Shift, that's a good card. Hold on a sec. Alright, so one of the things I'm disappointed about with Inalla is death triggers don't work. Because if you could use death triggers, there would be a ton more wizards you could use that would give you great effect rather than just the Into the Battlefield ones. Now you can sacrifice the token early with something like Ashnod's Altar, but that requires you to have a sack outlet in play. Otherwise, it gets exiled. It doesn't die. So you don't get any extra bonus from that second token from something like Corpse Augur. So that's probably not going to be used. Oh, new art on Cauldron Dance. That's awesome. I have one with the old art. I'm mainly putting spells here, wizards here, and then stuff I'm probably not going to use over on the right. I don't know. I don't know which deck to put that in. I'll just split them up. I don't care. Oh, cool. I didn't know that was in this deck. The way this is sorted is kind of weird. Oh, the rares are... Why are there 2 islands before the rares? That's really weird. I think I'm going to recheck this later to make sure I got all the right cards, because I know sometimes they leave out cards. That doesn't... Huh. Planeswalker. Reselect which player or planeswalker target attacking creature is attacking. Okay, so you can do that on 2 different creatures. If you double it with Inalla. Again, here's another one with the death trigger. Do I even want to use this in either deck? Probably not. I just don't like this card. It's like a shitty chaos card. I guess it'd be kind of good for Inalla, but I don't think it's good enough. I've been thinking about building a deck for Taigam Sidisi's hand, but I don't know. The biggest problem is his mana cost is really high, which I have some high mana cost commanders, but they're just way better than Taigam. I don't think he does enough to justify that high mana cost. Legendary wizards don't work very well with Inalla. Imagine that. But it is a creature deck. This one works well because it's whenever a creature leaves the battlefield. So that works with the exile trigger on Inalla. This one's good because you can just get an extra 3 cards for 2 mana from Inalla. Oh, Azami's in this. That's awesome. I didn't know that. Polymorphous Jest. Awesome. I might put that in my Jalir deck. I think I have one of these already. Spelltwine's good. I like Inalla as kind of like pseudo reanimator. You could do some cool combo stuff, I guess, if you have enough mana. And you had Sundial of the Infinite in play with Inalla. But it's pretty expensive. Nim the Pain Artist, that's awesome. I love the commands in the Kess deck. I just want to throw every single command in there and all the confluences too. I'm not a fan of Nevin Ural's disc. I think it's just too slow and easily removable. One there, one there, one there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Temple of the Gods is nice, just not in a 3-color deck. I'd rather have it in a monocolor deck. Again, I might already have some of these, I'm not sure. I'll have to sort it out. That's a lot of lands, holy crap. That's a new one, although that goes in the tribal deck. There's the basics. I want to fill my Kess deck with basic lands from Inalla. The hell is this? Mystifying Maze. 4 tap, exile target attacking creature and opponent controls at the beginning of the next end step, return it to the battlefield under its control. So, Shitty Maze of Ith. Interesting. Don't think I want that. At the beginning of the next end step. Alright, so I can put this in my rune deck and then process whatever I exile with an Eldrazi processor, because I have like 2 or 3 in that deck. So that'll be nice. And Exotic Orchard. Alright, let's see. Move these up a little bit. Okay, and I guess I'll take a look at the Inalla deck first. One of the problems I had while trying to build an Inalla deck is that most of the wizards with good ETB effects are in blue. There's a couple in red and black, but not many. I'll just go through these so you can see them. This one, I was kind of on the edge, but I needed more non-blue wizards, so I put this one in. This guy's pretty good. I got him whenever I drafted Modern Masters 3. He's another reanimator, but also an enter the battlefield wizard, which is good. This one's kind of mediocre, but has an enter the battlefield effect, and it's not blue. This guy's really good. Yeah. Jorian. I actually put a Jorian in both of these decks, and they're both foreign also, because I got a bunch of foreign Jorians just in some big foreign card lot that I bought. And it's pretty good. I believe it's something like whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you may draw a card. Something like that, which is pretty good. It's just a good card, and it's also a wizard. And then it's, I don't know, it's a good wizard, so I put in both. And then this one in equipment that's, it's like Stoneforge Masterwork, I think it's called. I bought a playset of these pretty cheap. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature that you control that shares a creature type with it, I believe is what it says. Now I have some weird, this might have been a mistake, this segment here. I might take it, I'm probably going to take this out of the deck. We'll have to see whenever I narrow it down. But I got this really cool flip wizard that gives all my creatures flying, if it has flying. So I have him and a bunch of cards that give him flying. It's kind of funny, and it would be cool if it happens, but I'm probably going to take it out. All of those. There's another. There's more. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Probably going to take that out, but there it is. And then I have some pseudo-reanimator stuff. Returning creatures to my hand. Some of these are pretty good. Some are kind of mediocre, but I wanted a good variety. This one's pretty cool. Claim to Fame. Fame's not... Like, Fame's okay, but I really care more about the Claim. 1 mana, return a creature to the battlefield. Which I have quite a few 2-drops in this deck. And there's something for ETB effects. And then just some good cards. And then there's some mana fixing. Okay. And then here are the lands. So let's ignore these islands. And these are the only... Yeah, this deck definitely needs more good lands. So let's see what we got here that we can put in. Yep. Yep. Since this deck is extremely blue heavy, I really want to kind of lean on the blue cards. It's the... sorry. It's the same thing I did with my Wasi Tora deck, where I put in... most of the dual lands have red in them, because most of the cards are red because it's dragons. So on this one I'm going to do most of them with blue, if I can do that. Command Tower probably goes better in the other deck. I already have one of these in the other deck, so I'll put it here. Dimir Guildgate, Dimir Aqueduct, Dismal Backwater, Evolving Wilds, Grixis Panorama. Is it Boilerworks? Jwar Isle Refuge. Alright, and then I'll put these 3 in the other deck. Cool. Because the other deck, I loaded up pretty well on some decent dual lands. I've been buying a lot of play sets of some cards to spread out to my different commander decks. Mainly dual lands and some staples like Stoneforge, Masterwork, Merciless Eviction, Darksteel Mutation. You can get a bunch of really good cheap cards right now. Alright, got a sleeve for Kess. Oh, this is hard to do through the camera. There we go. I love the art for this. She's real cool. Let's get these out of the way. Okay. So for Kess, there's a bunch of good stuff that kind of enable her, whether it's putting cards in the graveyard or helping with spells. So Curious Homunculus is good for that. I've been really wanting to find a place to play Alexi. She's pretty cool, but it's hard because her ability is not that good normally, so it's really hard. But I think it's actually pretty good in a Kess deck. Because basically you pay mana, tap her, and then discard cards and return creatures to their owner's hands. So you can kind of wipe... It's kind of like an expensive Cyclonic Rift, depending on how many creatures, and then you can get a bunch of cards in your graveyard that you can recast with Kess, so you don't mind that. There's a German Torrential Gearhulk, which is cool. I got this in both decks. I actually bought like 6 of him, 4 for one of my modern decks, and then 1 for each of these wizard decks, because it's just really good for fixing. For 1 blue mana, you fix all your lands. It's really nice. And something cool about it is for Inalla, you can fix your lands twice with him. So you pay 1 blue, play him, name I don't know, black or swamp, and then you also pay 2, you get another one, you can name mountain. So all of your lands are swamps and mountains and maybe islands, depending on what you have. And if you have Sundial the Infinite, you can keep that guy in play, and you just permanently have amazing mana fixing. More cards that help with spells. There's a Dragon Mage. I wasn't sure which deck to put it in. I'll probably have to buy more of these and put another one in the Inalla deck. Psychotog's kind of interesting. I wasn't really sure whether to put it in, but it works well enough. I might cut it later, I don't know. Underworld Cerberus, I'm not entirely sure about this one because my deck's kind of light on creatures. But it does protect my graveyard, because my graveyard is basically an extended hand for myself. The problem is whenever he dies, everybody gets their crap back. And I don't have as many creatures as them. There's Jorian again. Goblin Electromancer. A lot of these are just like bulk rares that I wouldn't run in any other deck. But in a Kess deck, that kind of get double value. I also bought a playset of these for real cheap. They're pretty nice. Commit to Memory. Dark Petition is insanely good with Kess. That's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of these are going to get cut. They're just kind of bulk rares I threw in. This is a nice finisher for Kess. Oh hey, I have Guild, so I can put those gold tokens in this deck. I don't remember what all of these do offhand. Some of them are in languages that I don't read or speak, like Russian, Chinese, Korean. I know a little bit of German, so I can read those. Mana Geyser, an amazing card, even more amazing in Kess. Just casting it twice and then like dumping your hand would be awesome. Hell, you can cast it to be able to cast Kess and then cast this again from your graveyard. Warpold, I toyed with the idea of turning Kess into like a Chaos deck. I thought it was interesting, but I figured out Chaos cards are usually just more trouble than they're worth in paper. Whenever you play the game in paper, there are a lot of logistical problems. But I figured I'd keep this one in just for a little bit of fun. Midnight Oil, usually a fairly garbage card, but in this deck I think it's pretty good. I don't know, I could be wrong. Creeping Dead seems like a lot of fun, and it'll just make people angry. Why the hell do I have this in this deck? Oh yeah, because I'm light on creatures. I finally found a place to put Icecrown Scepter. I've had this for a while, since the Mirrodin pre-release. I just haven't had a place to put it, because I haven't had a spells deck, but this is my first spells deck, so it goes in. And as you can see, I got a lot of mana fixing in here. Pretty good dual lands. And then there's the one Alara basic that I have. Alright, so let's see. I think, yeah, I can just put all three of these lands in and it will not be an issue. Yep. Alright, so there's the box opening and my 2 decks that I've been designing. Not 100% complete, but that's most of the cards are going to need, and that's where I'm going with the decks. And again, don't give a damn about Marcel. He's kind of stupid and easily beatable if you are using Eldrazi processors, which Mimeoplasm and Rune use some processors. But thank you for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.